Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Happy Thursday. Everyone, how are you doing? What's going on? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream, everyone. How are you all? Oh my goodness, there's so many folks here. Love the Nintendo theme music. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chi. I go by Nubbins Inc. pretty much everywhere on the internet, and welcome to the Streamlabs Office Hours stream. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a wonderful week so far. I hope 2024 has been a great year for you streaming-wise. For those of you who don't know what this stream is all about, allow me to educate you. I am here to teach you how to be a better streamer, how to do all of the things you want to do with streaming. And I'm here to answer your questions. That's the goal of the Office Hour stream, is I am here to answer your questions about streaming to help you be a better streamer in the year 2024. So, without further ado, please do feel free to start throwing your questions into the chat. I am here to help answer, like I said, your questions specifically. So, if you've got anything that you have questions about, please do feel free, like I said, throw them in the chat. I am monitoring, and I will try and get to them as they come in. Ooh, I might show up more often. That's the goal. So I'm actually having an issue right now, actually. That's great to hear. Tell me about it. Lethal Tsunade. How to get bigger. That's a great question. That is a great question. So, how to get bigger, how to grow your channel. This is the number one question that every single person has. Because if you consider where content creation was, say, even at the beginning of the pandemic versus now, right? The number of content creators has absolutely exploded. And you cannot grow your stream by simply streaming anymore. I hate to break it to you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to be the one to tell you this. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing it, but you cannot grow your stream just by streaming. It does not work that way anymore. In fact, it hasn't worked that way since probably, I want to say, like 2016. It has not worked that way since 2016. All right. So if you think in 2024 that you can get bigger streaming just by streaming, you are 8 years too late to that fact. Okay, you are 8 years too late to that fact. So what you need to do is you need to create content everywhere. All right? And I mean everywhere. The number one place for you to go right now is short form video. And I can't even say for sure that it's like TikTok over everything anymore, because Instagram Reels has caught up in a huge way, in an absolutely massive way. Instagram Reels has caught up. Like, you know, if you pay attention to short form content for a really long, you know, if you've been paying attention to short form content for a little bit now, you know, the standing joke was that, oh, I saw this TikTok and maybe Instagram will get it in like 3 months, right? That gap now really doesn't exist anymore. All right? That gap really doesn't exist anymore. There is really no gap anymore between the content that's being recommended on Instagram and the content that's being recommended on TikTok and the content that's being recommended on YouTube, because every other creator is now creating on all 3 channels. Okay? So, the best place for you to go right now is to produce short form video. The algorithms there are still very aggressive. They're still very good. They are constantly changing, so you do have to, you know, do your research and keep up with it. But the best way for you to grow your live stream is to not be live streaming. The best way for you to grow your live stream is to be making short form content. All right? So, everybody who's here, if you take nothing else away from this chat, if you take nothing else away from this stream, take away this, all right? Take away this one fact, which is that if you are only streaming and you are looking to grow and you are only streaming, you are going to struggle. You are going to struggle a lot. All right? A lot. So, are we clear on that? Are we clear on that? TikTok doesn't push your content as much. They are. You need to make content that does well on the platform. All right? I think that's the next step that a lot of people struggle with, which is that they think, "Oh, I'm just going to take, you know, my clip of my stream and just throw it up there." And that can work, all right? But you also have to have an understanding of what the zeitgeist on the platform is as well. Like, you cannot simply broadcast onto TikTok. You also have to be a consumer of the content there. You need to know what the trends are. You need to know what the memes are. You need to know the culture, all right? And if you have an understanding of the culture of your niche on TikTok and how you can repurpose your content, your stream content, to fit that niche, then you will do better. You can't just kind of yeet a clip on there and assume that it'll do well. All right? So you can still compete organically on TikTok. TikTok wants you to pay for promote. I have bad news. Every single app wants you to pay to promote. Like, that's social media. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, you know, TikTok wants to pay." Everybody wants you to pay them to promote. So, but unlike other platforms, TikTok, you can still compete organically. You can still compete organically on short form video. So, I have another question. Why does TikTok keep banning my videos when they're clips from Twitch, but if I upload a clip from my PS5, it doesn't get flagged and automatically posts to the For You page? Exact same content, which is COD, but from different platforms. Are they giving you a reason why they're banning your videos? I can't speak to their content moderation process, other than it's inconsistent. It is extremely inconsistent. So yeah, if they're not giving you a reason, it could be hashtags, it could be something in your caption. Yeah, just be wary of what you're typing in for your caption as well. Is your Twitch banner showing up in the video? To the best of my knowledge, saying dangerous activities are violence. Yeah, like, and here's the problem, is their content moderation system is very inconsistent. It's inconsistent. So you kind of need to just do what you can to get your content up there. You know, I wish I could tell you a shortcut to, like, keeping your content alive. There isn't one. You just kind of need to mess around. It's not the best thing, Like, I wish I could tell you the secret, but it's a black box system. Like, we don't know anything about it. And you can get removed from the platform like that for nothing. So yeah, like, just be wary of what you're saying in your video, be wary of the caption that you're writing, be wary of the text that you're throwing up on the video, stuff like that. Like, there's a reason, for example, that like the phrase unalive has become such a thing. But I'm using the exact same clips from PS5, same hashtags. I mean, I copied and pasted everything, but the video for my PS5, no issues or flags. Every upload from Twitch gets flagged. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly could not tell you. But that being said, if you know that you can upload from the PS5 and it doesn't give you problems, then just continue to do that. Find what works for you. Keep doing it. Does that make sense? What if you would be a social media sensation but just can't be out there? What's a surefire way to be seen instead of fast flooding your videos? Oh, Leon to God, there is no surefire way. There is no surefire way, my friend. I hate to be the one to tell you that. Good on you for believing in yourself and saying that you believe in yourself to enough to call yourself the next social media sensation. I have bad news for you. Everybody thinks that they're the next social media sensation. All right? Everybody with a smartphone and a dream thinks they're the next social media sensation. All right? Ask yourself this. What are you doing? What are you doing differently than everybody else? Ask yourself that. What are you doing differently than everybody else? I play VR. How do I get better mic quality? For what microphone do you have? What are you working with? What equipment are you working with? So my main question and concern is I'm having trouble with my audio. My last 3 VODs are muted completely. There is no option to appeal audio, so my videos were literally saved with no audio, and I know I had audio because my chat heard me the entire time we were live. So how do we deal with this issue? Because before they used to just mute the parts that had music. You have to understand that they are being very, very careful to not get DMCA'd, right? The fact is that a particularly litigious music label can go after live streams and can go after live content, right? So your VODs, as written by the DMCA, your VODs are no longer considered live content, even though they were recorded live. When they become static content, it becomes like an entire different beast, right? The example that a lot of people give is like, if you are walking around a mall, right? If you're walking around a mall and you are just filming yourself, you're broadcasting yourself, live streaming from your phone, and the mall happens to be playing some music in the background, right? To a certain extent, you are like not liable, but also still kind of liable for that copyrighted music potentially. But the moment that broadcast becomes frozen, I guess, in a way, is the best way that I could put it. Like when it becomes a static piece of content, then all of a sudden a different set of rules apply, right? It's the same reason why there's a different licensing system for broadcasting something over the radio versus putting a song in a movie. Does that make sense? So platforms like Twitch are very, very careful about making sure that they are removing any semblance of copyrighted anything. All right. So long answer to your question. If you are experiencing trouble with your VODs getting muted, there's 2 ways that you can deal with it. Number 1, easiest way. All right. Don't play copyrighted music. Number 1, easiest way. Don't play copyright music. The second way, which is a little bit more difficult, is you split the audio tracks, right? If you split the audio tracks, and you can do this in pretty much any streaming program at this point. You split the audio track such that the VOD hears one track, the stream hears the second track, and it won't be recorded in the VOD, and the auto muting system won't kick in, right? So yeah, those are your two ways. Number one is great because you can just play non-copyright music, and it doesn't have to be bad music. There's a lot of great non-copyright music out there. Check out Streamlabs Music, for example. If you use Streamlabs Desktop, we have an app that has licensed music for streaming. So you absolutely can use something like that. You can use Pretzel Rocks. There's a ton of different applications out there that allow you to play non-copyright music. And then splitting the audio tracks is the other way to do it. All right, hold on. Let me go back to I play VR. You're using a Sony headset. Its background noise makes my mic noise bad. Okay. Which Sony headset do you have? What's up, Esmeralda? Tsunade, there is a way. Let me find you. Let me find you a tutorial for it right now. Let me try and find this article. I might have to come back to it. I can't remember exactly what keywords we're using for this one. Is it that one? No, it's not that one. There it is. All right, here we go. That's the one. There you go. There's your article. All right, let's see. I mean, you could use NVIDIA Broadcast. It's not ideal, but you could. Sony CH520. Oh, okay. All right. So, all right. My recommendation would be to actually get a headset, like an actual gaming headset. The microphone is going to be, because I'm assuming that you're streaming VR, right? I play VR. Is that a safe assumption? I'm assuming you're streaming VR. Yep, it is. I'm assuming you're streaming VR. Yes, I play VR. How do you stream VR? There's a way to do it. You need to essentially... there's a way to do it. You basically need to use an application to window capture your view in your VR headset, and then use your streaming application to window capture that window. It's a whole thing. It's not easy. Okay. All right. I would recommend that I play VR. I would recommend you look into an actual gaming headset. For example, these ones that I'm wearing right now are the Logitech G. Oh my God. The Logitech G Pro X Lightspeed 2. They are wireless. And they also have a very good boom mic that has decent audio exclusion, or decent background audio exclusion, right? And it's a Lightspeed audio, which means you're getting lag-free audio as well, right? So these are some things that I would recommend. I would look into an actual gaming headset because by utilizing a boom microphone that actually places the microphone right here, as opposed to a microphone that is built into the body of the ear cup, what you are talking about is a microphone that doesn't have to be as sensitive, right? Does that make sense? Because the microphone can be right here. And it doesn't have to be so sensitive as to pick up your your mouth from this distance. Does that make sense? So getting a headset, a wireless headset that actually has a boom mic will probably cut out a lot of your background noise. So that would be my recommendation. I think the headphones that you have right now are okay. But because the microphone is built into the ear cup of the headphones, it has to be an incredibly sensitive mic to be able to pick up your voice from this distance. Does that make sense? Card Trick. This is the Logitech G Yeti Studio is what it's called. The Logitech G Yeti Studio. What's up, Mikey? Good to see you, bud. All right, let's see. What other questions did we have? Also, if I didn't get your question earlier, please go ahead and repost it. Is mine okay? It's the Astro. Yeah. No, those are great. Can you please send me the link to the mic, please? This mic or the one that I was just recommending? Are you talking about this microphone or the one that I was recommending? How do you catch people's attention to click on your stream? Ooh, okay. That's a good question. Give me 2 seconds to find this gaming headset. Boop. Here you go. Issue is expensive. It's true. It's true. There are ways. There are definitely ways. There are other headsets in this line. Basically, what I'm recommending is just get one with an arm, right? A wireless headset with an arm, and you'll be in good shape. All right? Do we have an emote creator? We do, actually, Roidius. Yes, we do. If you go to streamlabs.com, there is an emote builder, and you can build your own emotes right in there. A bunch of our artists worked really, really hard, actually, on a ton of different like base assets for stuff like oh my god, words, to help you build a set of emotes for yourself. So yeah, it's a really cool system. All right, how to get people to click on your stream. So there is a couple ways to do this, right? There's a couple ways to do this. Number one, as we did at the top of this stream, there's always clickbait, right? It's kind of not the best thing in the world. It doesn't always get people into your stream for the sake of, being in your stream, right? But you can absolutely bait interaction. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but you can get interaction that way, right? The other way to make it so that people click on your stream is to already be producing such good content that people want to click on your stream anyways, right? I assume you're talking about Kevo and the winner and all of those. I'm assuming you're talking about like in the browse view, right? Like when you go to Twitch or YouTube or wherever, and you're just looking at all of the different people streaming this one game, like why click on this one over that one, right? That's what you're saying, right? Is that what you're referring to? Right. Yeah. So there's okay. Like, all right, let's talk about this. There's a couple ways you can do it, right? Having a catchy title, having an interesting frame composition, being well lit, having a good camera, doing something interesting that a lot of people aren't doing that you can talk about in your title, right? You can do all of these things. All right? You can do all of these things. But, and there's a big but here. My question for you, all right, my counter question for you is, why are you playing the lottery? Why are you playing the lottery? Do you know what I'm saying when I'm asking why are you playing the lottery? No. Okay. So, the winner. Picture the Twitch browse page, picture the YouTube browse page, whatever. Picture the page, right? Can we all envision what the browse page looks like on these platforms? Just close your eyes. Come with me on this visual journey. Close your eyes. And I want you to picture this page, right? Do you have it? Are you there? Can you see it? Can you see it in your mind's eye? Do you see how your eye just kind of blurs? Your vision just kind of blurs and you sort of take in the whole page as one contiguous, like, blob of information? What you are asking is, how am I supposed to jump and wave my arms and get people to pay attention to me amidst a sea of everybody else jumping and waving their arms saying, hey, pay attention to me? You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm getting at? When every single person in the crowd is jumping and waving their arms saying, hey, click me. Click on my stream. Click on my stream. Click on my stream. Why are you not clicking on my stream? Pay attention to my stream. Pay attention to my stream. Hey, over here. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. What makes that decision point any better than random? Like you're talking about a 1% edge here, a 0.5% edge there, a 0.1% edge there. All right? When in actuality, the better way to go about getting people to your channel is don't rely on the browse page at all. Why are you relying on the browse page? You shouldn't be relying on the browse page to begin with. Because if you're relying on the browse page, you're relying on random chance. You're relying on oh, I like the color purple and so I clicked on this person's stream. Or I don't know. Like the number of times that people have come into my channel from the browse page, right? Or even from the front page. And I ask them, I literally ask them like, hey, how did you find us? Like, how did you find the channel? And their response is, I don't know. You look like a nice person. You can never account for every single person's reason for clicking on your particular channel. Like, you can never account for that number of variables because it is essentially random. It is effectively random. So, instead of worrying about how to get people to click on your channel from the browse page, don't worry about it. Your content should be so good that when you go live, people pay attention and know, oh, this person's going live at this time. I need to tune in onto their channel because I love their content and I already know their content and I want to watch. You with me on that? You got me, winner? Worry about doing your own thing. Yeah. And I'm not going to say, Tsukiyomi, I'm not going to say don't worry about everybody else. Like, there are always going to be shifts in the industry. There's always going to be changes in the meta or whatever of streaming that can make it so that you may need to adapt your content in one way or another. Sure. That's all fair. That's all very, very fair. Hey boss, can we get virtual camera output? I think I know we're working on some new stuff for dual output. I don't have a sense for exactly what. But I do know that we have more features coming for dual output soon. So stay tuned. Ultimately falls to you you either have what it takes to entertain and attract an audience, or you don't. If it's that simple, it's not rocket science. Yeah, and I don't disagree, Mike. But I will also say that there are more audiences out there than you would think. There's audiences out there for all sorts of content, right? So that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try, right? There's plenty of audiences for different types of content out there. You're absolutely right. It's so hard to find yourself a niche that fits for you without being the same as every other streamer. Once you find something that suits you, you got to own it, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's ways to be creative. There's ways to be creative about the content that you're making, right? I would make the argument that there are people who do very similar things as other people who stream in the same category, who stream in the same niche, right? So if you find yourself making similar content to everybody else who's playing your game, for example, think about how you can do something different. Think about how you can create content that is different from other people, right? You can... I stream a lot of Valorant, all right? I stream a ton of Valorant. And you can love Valorant or hate Valorant as a game, right? But there are people in the Valorant community who use Valorant as a means to create interesting content. All right? And that will allow those individuals to stand out from people who are just, oh, got an ace, oh, clutched around, oh, what have you, you know? Why is everything so gamer-centric on here when us DJs are present on the platform too? It's a matter of percentages, Selecta. Yeah, Selecta. It's a matter of percentages. You know, that's really what it comes down to. It's not that streaming has to be gaming centric. In fact, you know, the fact that just chatting is constantly like up there as one of the top categories suggests that gaming in and of itself is not always the core focus. But if you consider the number of streamers who play games versus the number of streamers who don't, you're going to see a majority leaning towards the gaming side of things. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that people, gamers are, and this is where we're gonna talk about sort of industry stuff here. Gamers are in some ways more technologically inclined, and because they're more technologically inclined, they're more willing to early adopt into concepts like live streaming, right? So little history lesson for you. Twitch's predecessor was a platform known as Justin.tv, right? Justin.tv was entirely meant to just be a live streaming platform. Anybody can go live from anywhere, doing anything, what have you, right? There's a reason why they transitioned off of the sort of broad anybody streams anything concept of Justin TV and focused more in on gaming with Twitch, right? And it's because there was already sort of a market for it, right? People were already creating content, for example, on YouTube, video game Let's Plays, you know, COD trick shot montages, FaZe Clan, whatever, blah, 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 right? All of those things. Like, gamers were already forging ahead in those kind of content creation spaces, right? So they were already leading the charge. So they kind of charged forwards, and then everybody else followed behind it, right? So to answer your question as to like why it's so gaming centric is it's just because gamers got here first. Twitch being a platform that prioritized gamers, definitely didn't help that. Not interlopers. No, it's no. It's not interlopers. It's just that you are underrepresented in the space. That's all it is. And it's because a lot of people in those niches didn't catch on as quickly as gamers did, or didn't adopt into the concept as quickly as gamers did, right? But if you look at the state of live streaming now, there's cooking shows, there's sports shows, there are like professional sports leagues, there's professional wrestling, there's all kinds of stuff on these platforms now. And it's because within the last several years, and the pandemic really kind of bolstered this in a huge way. But it's because the all of these other niches have finally started to catch on that, oh, this live streaming thing is kind of a big deal, and this is like actually something that we need to be paying attention to. So that's all. That's the reason why it's still gamer centric, is because it's the largest population, right? It's the most people that are represented in the audience. So that's the main reason why. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Like other niches will catch on. Like they already are, and they will continue to catch on. So just keep doing what you're doing, like, yeah, there is definitely value to being on the platform earlier, for sure. So yeah, I like to keep things interactive when live with a duck race where I copy the names of the chat using the participants tab. That's awesome. That's great. I love that. Yeah, do interesting stuff. Do interesting stuff that really enhances the live experience, right? Because that's really what it comes down to, is you need to be doing things that enhance the live experience. And I am more than happy to dive into that a little bit more. Bro, I'm so close to 50 followers. I'm gonna go wild on stream and give something out when I do. Hydrate. Okay, fine, but only because you said kind. I tend to talk a lot whenever we're doing this stuff, so I don't always notice. What other questions do we have? Yeah, everybody else grab some water as well, please. We hydrate as a group here. What's up, Johnny? Good to see you, bud. Do you know how to do YouTube TTS? Because I'm playing VR most of the time and I can't check my chat. I don't know that off the top of my head. I am most familiar with Twitch as a broadcasting platform. That's just because of my own personal streaming experience. There's definitely ways to do it. I just don't know off the top of my head how. I would say make sure you're taking a look at your alert box settings. That would be the first place to check. But also take a look into whatchamacallit? Take a look into plugins for VR that are meant for VR streamers. There's a ton of applications out there that will allow you to monitor chat, allow you to monitor your alerts from within VR. There's ways to do it. So I would look into those. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. I have a VR headset. I've never streamed VR, so. Does only having 2 to 3 viewers hurt your average? Lego My Ego, where, like, average what? What do you mean your average? Do you know anything about combined chat on stream from Twitch and YouTube and if it's allowed? The TOS from Twitch is that it's not. How come on a certain day you may get a lot of followers, but on other days you don't notice if some things... Wait, hold on, sorry. How come on a certain day you may get a lot of followers, but on other days you don't notice if some things don't catch people's eyes? What happens? How can I have followers in my stream on the regular instead of certain days? Oh, okay. All right, here's a great question. Little Silver J, that's a great question. All right. Let's talk about that. All right, let's talk about that. How come you have viewers that tune in on certain days and not other days? Great question. Little Silver J, let me ask you this question. Do you sit and watch the same TV show every single day? Do you spend your entire time glued to Twitch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Do you, every single time a streamer goes live whose content you enjoy, do you make sure to tune in every single time and are paying rapt attention to every single word they're saying because you don't want to miss a single moment? No, nope, hell no. Do you see what I'm getting at here, Little Silver J? Do you see what I'm getting at? Yes and no, mixed reactions. Okay. Yes, I see. Great. There is this philosophical ideal that I really love. It is called Hanlon's razor. All right? It's called Hanlon's razor. And it states, do not attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity. And that is not to call your viewers stupid so much as to get you to think and remember, that more likely than not, it's not because they're upset with you. It's not because they don't like your content or don't want to watch you or whatever. They've just got other stuff going on. Sometimes people just have other stuff to do. Sometimes it's important stuff like laundry or going to the doctor or taking care of homework or whatever. Your viewers are not going to be able to be there all of the time for you. And that's okay, because behind that username is a human being with a life and bills and pets and kids and whatever. They have a whole life outside of your stream. So I urge you to be grateful for the people who are there and for the people who do show up when they show up. But the only reason why it feels worse, all right, and we'll get into this. The only reason why it feels worse is if you are a streamer, who doesn't have that many viewers, right? Say you're averaging 4 viewers, right? Call it 4. And 2 people get a little busy on your normal stream night and can't tune in. Yeah, you feel that a lot more because the percentages are higher, right? Whereas, take for example, somebody like Tim the Tap Man, who's got tens of thousands of people watching at any one time. There could be a few hundred people who don't tune into that stream. It's a blip on the radar, right? Because the percentages are so much lower. So that's the reason why it feels worse. That's the reason why it hurts much more. because the ratio is higher, right? So just in those moments, remember, people have lives. People have stuff to do. People have things going on in their day, in their life, in their week that sometimes they just can't tune in, and that's okay. Be grateful for the times that they are there. Be grateful for the time that they are spending with you, right, Lil Silver J? Because you also have to remember that every minute that they are spending with your stream, on your stream, chatting with you, and consuming your content is time that they are intentionally taking out of their day to engage with you, because that's how much they like your content. Flip that on its head. Flip that on its head, right? They're putting aside everything else in their life that they could be doing to spend time watching you. That's huge. So, I urge you to reframe it in that way, right? Finding other people to collab with is actually harder than some people think, depending on who it is. I see. We are talking. We are saying one of my least favorite words in the stream. I see. We are actively using one of my least favorite words on the stream right now. Do you reckon it's easier to get YouTube live viewers or Twitch? Twitch. And that's just because I love YouTube as a platform, but it is hard to find new streamers to watch on YouTube. It's not easy. Where is this? So we're talking about collabing. Did somebody use my least favorite word? Who did it? So I know somebody did it. Who did it? Oh, Julia. Oh, Julia. No, Julia, not you. Julia, no. You used my least favorite word. No. Julia, no. I taught you better than this. Julia. Okay. All right. Because Julia has used my least favorite word, now we get to talk about it. I hate the word networking. I hate the word networking. If you are a content creator and you are planning on going to TwitchCon this year, and you tell yourself, oh wow, I can't wait to go to TwitchCon so I can network with other creators. Stop it. Stop it. I hate that word so much. And I hate that word. Because there's very good reason for it. I hate that word. Because if you... Okay, hold on. Let me... All right, these will just have to do. All right. I keep this card game. It is, but I'm doing it. I'm emphasizing a point. I keep these cards on my desk. It's a game. It's called We're Not Really Strangers. It doesn't matter. When you are at TwitchCon, you can very easily tell who's there just to network. It's so obvious. You know why? Because this is what they look like. Oh, hi. My name is such and such. I'm a streamer. I've got cozy vibes. I play games. Here. Can I? Here. Are you interested in taking a card? Can you make sure you take a card? Okay. And make sure you follow me on Twitter. I go live. On Tuesdays and Thursdays. yeah, and it would be really, really cool to have you there. And yeah, like yeah, you know, like that's I love streaming, and I'm super passionate about content creation and. Doesn't that make you feel icky? Doesn't that make you feel gross? Isn't that awful? And you will see. This is all over the place. All over the place. At a place like TwitchCon. All over the place. I have a stack. I have a literal stack from TwitchCon's past of business cards like this. Of business cards like this. Do you know how many of those streams that I've gone into to like check them out and you know, see what their content is all about? Yeah, like none. You know why? Because the people that I am going to check out, after TwitchCon are the people who came up to me and say, "Hey, how are you doing? How's your week? Are you having a good weekend?" Oof, yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I was out at the party last night too, and oh god, I'm hungover, but you know, we're struggling through the day. That's fine. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. How did you get into streaming? Oh, that's really neat. Like, what's been something you've been really excited about, you know, streaming wise? Like, what was something that you did that was really cool? Nice. Those are the people that I'm going to go and check out later because they're treating me like a human being. They're treating me like a person. If you approach every other creator and treat them like a meal ticket, like somebody to you know, oh, I'm gonna give you my card, right? Let's think this through. Let's think this through. And hey, guess what? Everybody who's still typing follow in chat, this applies to you all as well because it's the exact same behavior. It's this idea. It's this idea of, oh, I'm gonna give you my card and expect you to come check me out. And that's going to be a one-way relationship. Like, you're going to take my card and you're going to come look at me. You're going to come watch my content. And then, like, yeah, maybe I'll check you out later. But you're not my priority. You need to treat these other creators as your peers, as your coworkers, basically. Because they are. You have to. So, what I have always said, and I will always say, and I will always repeat this. Make friends with other creators. Make friends with your fellow creators. Make friends with them. If you want to network with businesses. Network with businesses. Businesses, great to network with. Because if you are looking for a sponsorship, you know that's a transactional thing, right? That is oh, hey, we're both trying to get something out of each other, right? But if you are making friends with your fellow creators, you know how to get collabs? You start a group chat and say, hey, I've had this concept kicking around in my head. Does this sound interesting to you? Like, I'd love your opinion on it. Tell me what you think. Do you think this would be cool? Do you want to help me with it? That's it. Easy. Because you're asking a friend to hang out and play games on stream. You're not messaging people being like, hi, I think we should collab on this content because I think if we were to collab on this content, it would benefit the both of us because we would be cross-pollinating our audiences and blah, 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 blah. Nope. Hi, do you like me? Please check yes or no. Asking for a collab should be as simple as, yo, you down to game? You down to play this game on stream? You got to build connections, but they have to be meaningful connections, is my point. Scratch. Right? Just having, like, acquaintance level connections is not enough. Like, you have to put effort into it. There you go. I'm saying this from a non-biased perspective. So what I'm saying is, if he doesn't have connections with anyone, he just streams on YouTube by himself, and looks how much viewers he gets, in my opinion. It's so much easier to get more viewers on YouTube than Twitch. Potentially. How to apply to Streamlabs. We have a career page. You can take a look. Not only that, but if the friendship is genuine, the content would be better for it. Yep. Exactly. So yeah. All right, what's the next question? Julia, thank you for letting me pick on you for a little while. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for letting me pick on you for a little bit. I think I saw somebody ask earlier if this is a place to get support, exclamation point support. Typical Joe, exclamation point support. You can get connected to our CX team. They'll be able to help out better, because I know a lot of industry stuff. Our CX team is much better at, like, the little technical ins and outs. They'll be able to help you out better. This is a living proof. If you don't believe me, I have DMs on Discord. Huh? Miss these Thursday streams. We're trying to do more of them. Julia. We're trying to do more of them. Speaking of, everybody who's here and watching, next week we're going to have another special edition office hour stream with my friend Haylight, who's going to be talking to us about social media in general. So if you are an individual who is trying to figure out how to make your way in the world of content creation and want some real solid advice on how to leverage social media platforms for growth, Haylight is going to be... You're going to want to write some questions down. It's going to be good. People are asking what's better on streaming, Twitch or YouTube. The advice that I gave them was more of these smaller streamers becoming bigger on YouTube than Twitch. So they're fundamentally different platforms, right? They both serve as live streamers, but they are fundamentally different platforms. What are we talking about? We are answering your questions about streaming. Everybody who's new here, by the way, yeah, this is our office hours. We're here to answer your questions about streaming. So feel free to throw them into the chat. So they function fundamentally differently, right? Because Twitch at its core is a live streaming platform. It is a live streaming platform that services live content explicitly, right? You do not really come to Twitch for VODs. You do not really come to Twitch for short form content. You do not really come to Twitch for stories, right? You just don't. On the other hand, YouTube is pretty much the #1 long-form static content platform out there, right? Who competes against them? Basically nobody, right? If you're going to Vimeo, you're lying to yourself. So, like, it is a long-form static content platform first. Now, YouTube has done a lot to combat short form, to fight back on short form, because TikTok absolutely, threw a wrench in the works in terms of the static content industry, right? But that should tell you, I think that should tell you that YouTube is still fighting back on the static content front. TikTok is now rolling out a much broader live streaming content system, right? So you can kind of imagine how all of these platforms are playing off of one another, right? If you've been paying attention to these platforms for, say, the last 4 years, call it the last 4 years, right? Since pandemic, TikTok arises as the new king of short form content. Absolutely throws a wrench in the works for everything, right? YouTube, Instagram responds by launching their own short form platforms. TikTok goes into live streaming and live content. YouTube is still pushing their short form content, right? Now, Twitch is pushing short form vertical content. YouTube is now pushing live vertical content. TikTok is now moving towards horizontal long form videos. You see how all of these platforms are all like interacting and trying to do everything else that everybody else is doing? Here's the issue, right? JX, we'll call you JX. If I asked you right now, without on a brand new YouTube account with no subscriptions, if I asked you to go to youtube.com and find me a YouTube streamer who is streaming Euro Truck Simulator 2 right now for under 30 viewers, how long do you think that would take for you to find? Hours. If I told you to go to twitch.tv, again, no login, no nothing, and asked you to find me a Euro Truck Simulator 2 streamer with under 30 viewers, how quickly could you find that for me? 2.3 seconds. Yep. And this right here is the fundamental difference between their platforms, right? There is absolutely a desire for live content on YouTube. The problem is it is so hard to find. It is so hard to find. And so in order to be really successful on YouTube, live streaming, you have to have found success with their static content. You have to find some success with their static content. Because if you have static content that's doing well, that is already being I said under 30. That is already being, pushed by their algorithm, then it is much more likely that you will have people subscribe to you, and those subscribers are the people who get that immediate notification that you're live and prioritized on their browse page. Does that make sense? The reason I say this is because 6 of my main friends who are close to me, we met in real life, are now pulling 3K concurrent live. That's awesome for them. That's amazing for them. And trust me, that's amazing. I love that for them. Do they also support with static content? What do you mean by static content, babes? Great question. Static content is content VODs. It is content that is edited. It is not live content. Does that make sense? I'm just waiting for TikTok to put a clickable link next to your videos. That way people can subscribe to your YouTube or Twitch faster. They won't do that. They will not do that. I'll tell you that right now. They won't. I thought I saw another question. I thought I saw another question. Maybe I didn't. It's all right. They stream the same thing. These people stream on Twitch, GTA RP, Rainbow Six Siege, challenges, sleep streams, basically the content that I've seen that live streamers have adapted to. Do they well, like I said, do they also have solid like static content alongside it? Do you recommend streaming on both Twitch and YouTube? Yeah. Why not? What do you think of streaming on Kick? I think Kick. All right. Here's my answer for Kick. All right. You can choose to stream on the platform. You can choose not to stream on the platform. Whatever the reason may be for your decision, that is totally valid. All right. If you want streaming as a whole to do better, to be in a better place, you need Kick to succeed. That's it. If you want streaming as an industry to improve, you need Kick to succeed. You need YouTube to succeed. If you want Twitch streaming to be better, you need Kick to succeed. Yes, babes. Exactly. Because competition. Yeah. I will tell you about my favorite little platform, my favorite little indie streaming platform, that some of the older folks in the industry might remember. A little platform called Mixer. Just a little platform, tiny streaming platform, backed by an indie software studio named Microsoft. Right? Tiny little platform. Mixer had one gimmick. All right? Mixer had one gimmick. And their one gimmick was low latency streaming. They called it light speed. That was their one gimmick. All right? Low latency streaming. Stream delay of I think 3 seconds. Sub 3 second stream delay. In an era where Twitch, their main competitor, was dealing with a 10-second plus stream delay across all channels. Minimum. Mixer launches, starts taking some of the viewership. Do you know what Twitch goes and does? Introduces low latency mode. After Mixer is in operation for, I think, about 6 months. Because they recognized, oh, that is a huge thing. That is a big deal. Do people really care that much about stream delay? Yes. Absolutely they do. Do you know why, Scratch? Do you know why people care about stream delay? The Ray Lightning, what's going on? How are you? Wait, I have a question. Go ahead. Answer. Or ask it. Nah, why do people care so much? Okay. All right. Let me, okay. Let me try and figure this out. Let me find a way to do this. Scratch, what? Scratch, are you a streamer? Do you create content? Are you a streamer? Oh, cool. You do stream. That's really cool. How was it when you just got started? How's your experience getting started with streaming? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's why. Human interaction doesn't happen at 10-second pauses. That's not how human beings interact with each other, right? It's just not how human beings work, right? That's not how people interact. So when you type something and think, okay, all right, he asked me a question, I wrote a response. What's taking so long? You see how awkward it is? You see how weird that is? Like, 10 seconds is like right at that threshold of discomfort. If you ever want to make a phone call really awkward, just say nothing. Just say nothing for 5 seconds. Say nothing for 5 seconds. That phone call, that conversation suddenly gets so uncomfortable. It's viscerally uncomfortable. So, yeah, that's my recommendation. Like, my cousin is watching you right now. Can you please tell him he cannot continue to stream into the void of Twitch with 0 viewers hoping to be discovered? 98K games, cousin. Your cousin is correct. If you are streaming into the void with 0 viewers, just waiting to be discovered, you are wasting your time. You are better off spending that time playing games, capturing footage, and editing videos. So much better off. So, take it from me, stop it. You're wasting your time. So, anyways, the point is, right? Mixer came about through a giant boulder into the pond of live streaming with low latency streaming. And absolutely made waves in the industry that forced Twitch to adapt to this new idea of streaming, of low latency streaming. So if you want Twitch to improve, you need Kick to succeed. Does that make sense? Do you believe having competitors compete with each other like Twitch and Kick is a good thing? Yes. It's good for the streamers. It is good for the streamers. Because Twitch needs a viable competitor. They do. And whether that comes from YouTube or Kick or TikTok or all of them, they need to have a viable competitor. Do you think about streaming and money? Is the money more important than streaming? Here's my question. Zombie Doctor, great question. Great question, Zombie Doctor. And how do we put this? Every single content creator out there will tell you that if you are relying only on streaming as your sole source of income, you are going to burn out and go broke so fast. No content creator out there is subsisting purely on live streaming revenue. All right? We're talking about subs, super chats, cheers, donos, bits, whatever. All right? If you are solely subsisting on streaming as your singular source of income, you are going to burn out and you are going to go broke. All right? That's just how it is. All right? Every single big name streamer does 5 or 6, 7 different things to have a diverse revenue stream. So, in that regard, if you are at a point where you are contemplating living off of content creation as a whole, you need to have diverse income. You have to. Now, if you are asking the question of, is, I'm trying to parse this question. Is the money more important than streaming? Is the money more important than streaming? You need to produce worthwhile content. All right? Hands down. You have to produce worthwhile content. So yes, there are ways to monetize your content. If you watch any YouTube video, if you listen to any podcasts, there's an ad read at the beginning, there's an ad read in the middle, there's an ad read at the end. This is just how it goes. You need to still produce content that is worthwhile. So in that regard, your stream still has to be a high quality stream. It still has to generate interest in order for advertisers to want to work with you to begin with. Does that make sense? What's the point of streaming if you're doing it for the money and not for yourself and your passion? And you'll always come back and stream trash content just because you want money. Well, I kind of disagree. Right? Because I do believe that every content creator starts making content because they're passionate about making content. I do believe that. Money is evil. I mean, I get where you're coming from. I entirely get where you're coming from. I would say don't stream to make money or you will eventually quit. Just concentrate on building a name for yourself. Yeah. I think that if you start content creation, with money as your primary driver, then I do think you are more likely to burn out quickly. As a result, right? Because, and this is where content creation and the algorithm, and I'm going to put that in big scary air quotes. The algorithm has kind of sold us through a lie, right? Smada, I see the question. What do you think is the most viable platform for a beginning streamer? TikTok. So if you are the answer, the lie that we have all been sold through, right, is that content creation is easy, that content creation is as simple as playing games on YouTube or on Twitch and going live and raking in the cash. Okay, hold on. We'll play one of my favorite games. Wait, hold on. Who's a good... Give me 1 sec. I wanna see. Okay. So I'm not gonna name names, but this is a buddy of mine. This is a friend of mine. Actually, no. Hold on. Let's not go with them. Let's go with this person. Okay. All right. This is a friend of mine. They have 191 average viewers on Twitch. All right. We'll talk about Twitch predominantly here. They have 191 average viewers on Twitch. What percentile of all Twitch streamers in the last 30 days of streamers that went live do you think they sit at? Do you think they're like the top 10% of all streamers, the top 20% of all streamers? 1%? They have 191 average viewers. 0.1%. 3% max. 0.1, bro. Any other guesses? Zero 1%? 1%. Any more guesses? Or 20%. So this individual, it's defo 0.1% or lower. Yep. So they're in the top 0.15% of Twitch. 0.15. 0.15. All right, let's look at a different channel. Let's take a look at this person. This person averages around 15. Around 15 viewers. 15. Very reasonable number. What is this person's percentile? Top 10%, 20%, 50%, 15 viewers. Have you just looked at my profile? Nope. 0.8. Top 3% again. Okay. Anybody else? Maybe even 1%? I think it's low again, yeah. Around 1. 1.82. 15. 1.5. Not 15K. 15. 1.82%. Puts you in under the top 2% of all streamers in the last 30 days. 15 viewers. That is how top heavy the platform is. That is how top heavy the platform is. You would not even consider somebody sitting at 15 to be any kind of a big name anything. And yet, that channel is performing better than 98.2% of all other channels that went live in the last 30 days at 15 viewers. This is the problem. This is the inadvertent lie that gets sold through about content creation, right? That you look at somebody who has 15 viewers, 15, and say, wow, they're tiny. They're like just getting started. That person is already doing better than 98.2% of other channels. That is an A+. And because of the algorithm, the content that we see on something like YouTube, on a platform like YouTube, on a platform like TikTok, the content we see only comes from these 0.01% creators. 0.01% creators. That person was working months and years and people think he just started. Mm-hmm. Yep. You want to know who that second person was? I'll give it away. Should I drop the @ for that second person? That's me. That's me. That's my channel. I looked up my own channel. And don't get me wrong, I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it because I'm producing content for Streamlabs now. How long have you streamed? I started streaming this channel. I started streaming on this channel, which means this is my second channel. I started streaming on this channel in 2017. And that's just this channel. Drop your ad, homie. It's in the title. But that's the point. That's the point, right? Is you would look, most people would look at a channel with 15 concurrent and say, oh, they must have just started. That's got to be like 30% of streamers got to have 15 viewers. Like, that's not that hard. No. They don't. That's how top-heavy streaming is. So, to my point, if you are getting into streaming because you see people, content creators, you know, flying on private jets, Mr. Beast, whatever, blowing up a private island with 1 million pounds of C4, whatever, right? You see that kind of content and you see how well it does, and you think to yourself, oh, that's all I got to do? All I got to do is be like Tarek and play video games and all of a sudden I'll be a millionaire? It is so much harder than that. So to that point, right? And JX, I think this is the point that you're trying to make. This is the point that a lot of people are trying to make, which is if you get into streaming because you think you are going to be a millionaire overnight, in 3 months, when it doesn't happen for you, you're gonna quit. On the other hand, if you start streaming because you enjoy streaming, if you start creating content because you enjoy creating content, and you enjoy interacting with people, and you enjoy chatting with folks, and you enjoy the act of content creation, you're much more likely to stick around. So, I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not sitting here and saying that, like, you know, oh, you should never get your bag. Get your bag. Get your bag. But let that be something that happens over time. Let that be something that happens to you by surprise, right? I'm trying to remember. God, I'm trying to remember how my friend said this. My friend said this a great way, and I can't remember the exact quote. It was something like, It was something like, it was something along the lines of, like, be shocked with your own success or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the quote is. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look it up later. But you gotta be shocked by your own success. Does that make sense? Teamwork makes the dream work. I personally network with other streamers, and that has helped me a lot. First time chatter, you weren't here earlier. Networking bad. I literally produced a TikTok for Streamlabs about this. I'm literally just gonna have to make a command. I'm just gonna have to make a command that every single time somebody says network, during office hours, it'll be like !network, and it's just gonna link to that TikTok, and it's just a clip of the office hours, and Yeah. Yeah, there needs to be like a bonk or something. I don't know. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Every single time somebody says network, it's just going to be exclamation point network. And it just links to the TikTok. You know what? I'm just going to set it up right now. Yep, we're doing it. We're doing it. Hold on. Should it be network or networking? Probably network, right? We're going to do it. This is going to be the first office hours meme. I'm so excited. That way every single time somebody says the word, oh my God, that's loud. Okay, hold on. I hate how it autoplays videos. So annoying. Mute. All right, where is this video? Here it is. Copy link. All right, hold on. Cloudbot. Commands. Add command. Networking. Network. You activated my trap card. Now you have to watch this video. There you go. Exclamation point network. Where did it go? I want to make sure that it's... There it is. Perfect. All right. Now you have to watch. Now you have to go watch that video. There you go. Yeah, it's like the like anime villain laugh. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So we have that now. All right. Now we have that. So from here on out. Yes, the Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh laugh. Thank you. I knew somebody knew what I was talking about. All right, Orange Crush Nation. You now have to go watch that video. Go watch the TikTok. Return to us when you've watched it. Tell us what you've learned. All right. What other questions do we have? Oh my goodness. So what if you are getting to know other streamers and building relationships, showing support to their streams, subscribe? I mean, technically it's a form of networking. Lethal Tsunade, the reason that I want people to get away from utilizing the word networking, right, is because the word networking is so businessy, right? What's up, Vixen? The word networking is so businessy. Like, yes, at its core, networking is building connections, right? But context matters, right? Context matters. Like, if you have been best friends with somebody since like the first grade, would you refer to them as part of my network? Like, yes, I've been dating this person for 3 months now. I'm very excited to add their thought leadership to my network. Gross. Gross. Get out of here. I'm pretty sure if I found out that like a friend of mine that I've known for a really, really long time was referring to me as like part of their network, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy about that. I would be mad. Like, context matters, right? So, like, while technically, yes, if you were to boil down the idea of a network to encompass any and all connections that you've made, congratulations, your parents are part of your network. I don't know. Your dog is part of your network. Like, then the word is entirely meaningless at that point, right? But yeah, it's just context matters, and I think framing friendships in such businessy terms inherently gives me the ick. It inherently gives me the ick. And if I were to find out, like I said, if I were to find out that somebody who I'm good friends with, considered me part of their network, it would make me reevaluate my friendship with that person. So context matters. I think my channels love to have a 9 at the end, 1 sub away from 400 on YouTube, and 1 fall away from 150 on Twitch. Damn. Yep. You're going to overshoot by 10. It's fine. Don't you dare, Mia. Don't you dare. All right. What other questions do we have, chat? What other questions we got? And for everybody who's new, welcome to the stream. I am here to be your personal stream coach. Please do feel free to ask whatever questions you might have about streaming. I'm here to answer them to the best of my ability. If you are looking for technical support, that is going to be handled by our CX Team Exclamation Point support in the chat to get the link to our Discord or to submit a ticket. What other questions do we have? If you're streaming 3 days a week, should you split up the days? Oh, that's a good question. Steven Shark Attack. That's a great question. Okay. The best days for you to stream are the best days that work for you and your schedule and your life. Does that make sense? If you are streaming 3 days a week and lumping those 3 days together works best for your schedule, then those are the best 3 days for you to stream. If you are streaming 3 days a week and the best thing for your mental health is to split them up, then split them up. It is what works best for you. If you are worrying about the minutia of, oh, well, I don't want to stream 3 days in a row because I want people to have a break from my content and then come back. Sure, that's a reason. But at the same time, if you then suddenly are considering, oh, well, I had that one person in my chat who's really excited for me to stream tomorrow, but I don't stream tomorrow, I stream the day after, maybe I should change it? No. Your schedule is your schedule. If it works best for you to have those 3 days in a row, do those 3 days in a row. If it is best for you to have the days off, or day off in between, do a day off in between. That's it. When multi-streaming, when will it update title when it's link we at Catalicious? I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. Do you mind reframe? Do you mind typing that back out? How are you today? And was curious how to be a small streamer with a limited budget. What would you need equipment-wise? Great question. Great question, Wandering Shaman. What would you need equipment-wise? My recommendation, if you are a small streamer starting on a budget, what you need equipment-wise is whatever you have around the house. That's it. Whatever you have around the house. Do not, if you are just getting started streaming, don't invest any money into it. Do not invest any money into it. Joseph, can you show me how to step the overlay you are using? How to... What the overlay you're using? This overlay? This is a custom overlay. Do you want to know how to set up overlays? Is that what you're asking? If you have a phone, you can very easily get started streaming. Yep. You already have an amazing camera sitting right in your pocket. You can use a laptop as a second monitor with your desktop. You can start streaming from a console directly. Monitor with a laptop or monitor with your phone on the side. If you have old desk lamps, there you go. You've got lighting. So utilize what you have around the house first. That is the number one way to get started. What's up, Ellipticus? What would be a good way to stay on top of the social media to help grow when you have never liked to post stuff and never got into it? Ooh. Okay. There's two topics here. All right. Topic number one, or to answer both questions. In order to stay on top of social media, come up with a schedule. It doesn't have to be the most intense schedule. It doesn't have to be the most strict schedule, but come up with a schedule. And try to get your content in advance. If you don't like posting on social media, you're going to have to learn. Okay. Here's the thing, right, Bull Rider? Here's the thing. I, for the longest time, was not the biggest fan of Instagram. Right? I was not the biggest fan of Instagram. Mostly because, in my mind, I was just like, I'm just some dude. I'm just some guy. Like, why would anybody be interested in pictures of my life? Like, I'm not traveling to anywhere exotic. I'm not, I'm working a normal 9 to 5. I'm not like some fashion blogger. I'm not like, a celebrity with like the glitz and the glam. Like, why would anybody want to follow my Instagram? But to a certain extent, you gotta just kind of learn to do it. And it doesn't have to be the best thing, right? Like, you don't have to have the best Instagram. In fact, I would say, if you are just getting started with content creation, don't do all of them. Pick one and be really good at it outside of your streaming, right? So if you love being on Instagram, be really good at Instagram. If you love being on TikTok, be really good at TikTok. Pick your one and focus on it, and then cross-pollinate to all of the others. Make sense? For example, if I multi-stream to Twitch and Kick, how do I make sure that the title's the same on both and it updates to both? Depending on what you are using to multi-stream, it'll update the title automatically. Streamlabs Desktop automatically updates the title for both. If not, you're just gonna have to go in there and type the title out manually. Can gain exposure if you don't. Can't gain exposure if you don't put yourself out there. Exactly, Jonathan. Oh, nice, Daz. Regular schedule more important than face cam. Just look at all the VTubers. Yep, I entirely agree with that. Schedule more important than face cam. Audio more important than video. What is the best way to get free TwitchCon tickets? Well, I can't guarantee that we're going to do a giveaway. But we have in the past, and we might again. I don't know that we are 100%. But we have in the past. So keep an eye out on our socials. There's ways to get to TwitchCon. So keep an eye on our social media. Let's see. But yeah. So, that's Wandering Shaman, not Wandering Shaman, Wandering Shaman. So yeah, the to answer your question, the best equipment to get started streaming is the stuff that you have lying around the house. Don't go out and purchase anything. Don't go out and drop thousands of dollars on camera and mic equipment and lights and this, that, and the other. Start with what you have. Improve over time. Pay attention to Black Friday deals. Pay attention to iterative upgrades. And like I said, lighting, you can get away with a halfway decent webcam and lighting instead of having to upgrade the camera in a huge way. I think that's a number one. That's a huge thing that a lot of people don't realize, is that your camera's actually fine, you're just underlit. Your scene's just too dark. But again, microphone, audio over video. If you have a little bit of money burning a hole in your pocket and you want to invest it into your stream, audio first. Would there be a TwitchCon in BC, Canada? Unlikely. They typically only do one in North America, and the one in North America they are doing in San Diego this year. And the one in Europe they're doing in Rotterdam, which I'm very excited about. You're fat, cute axolotl. What's going on? How are you? All right, let's see. Do we have another question? Pretty good. We're here answering questions about streaming. So if you've got streaming questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. What about future events? No idea. Well, a microphone and a personality that makes us want to listen to you. True. No amount of equipment can make up for a boring personality. That's damn true. You do still have to be entertaining. And that's why equipment matters so much less than people think. Like, you don't have to have the best equipment to have an entertaining stream. You just don't. Like, it's nice. It's a nice to have. It's not necessarily a have to have. Are you familiar with the concept of a point of diminishing returns? Chat, are we all familiar with that concept? Let's see. I'm scrolling back to see if there's questions. I'm familiar. I've been here before. Well, I know you know, Voxney. Would it be possible to integrate the Apple Vision Pro with something like streaming like Ready Player One? Maybe? I don't know. Unless Apple wants to send me a Vision Pro so that I can experiment with it on my own. I have no idea what that thing's capabilities are. And yeah, I'm going to say probably. Like, I feel like it ought to be possible, but I don't know how it works. I have no idea whether it's capable or not. It might be. It might not be. Yeah, I have zero idea. So, yeah, Apple, if you're listening and want to send me a Vision Pro to test, you could do that. I'll be that guy walking around with the Vision Pro on. What's up, Dylan? How are you? All right, I think we have time for like one more good question or a couple more quick ones. So throw them down in the chat, folks. We'll take them and then we'll close the stream out. Titanic music's a vibe, isn't it? It's so good. Let's see. Chicken or beef? It depends. It depends on what the dish is. I wonder if we scared Orange Crush Nation away. I hope not. What is the best way to prepare for a stream? Ooh, okay, that's a great question. That is a great question. The answer is that everybody is going to be different. The answer is everybody's going to be different. Some people have a whole ritual. Some people procrastinate until 5 minutes before and then run upstairs and go live. It really depends, but I will say, and we'll use me as the negative example here. Being prepared for your stream is the better way to do it. Being prepared for your stream is the better way to do it. I am a huge proponent, and I don't practice what I preach here, but I'm a huge proponent of preparing as much as you can in advance for your stream. Talking about what you want to talk, like figuring out what you want to talk about, figuring out what, you want to do on your stream, figuring out, how you are going to make that stream interesting and exciting for the viewers, and, how you are going to keep things entertaining. I'll give you a perfect example. And I'll pat myself on the back a little bit here. On Tuesday, normally I stream games on Tuesday. But I had this idea kicking around in the back of my head that, well, Wednesday is Valentine's Day, and because on my stream sometimes we get distracted by talking about dating advice, maybe I'll bring up some dating advice questions and see how people react. If people are interested in talking about it, we'll stick with that and talk about that the entire time instead of playing games. But let's see what happens, right? And you can absolutely at least come up with a concept that you think will drive conversation for a little while, right? And if you are engaged and have an engaged and interactive enough audience, that conversation can continue and continue and continue and can last for, in this case, it was like 4.5 hours, right? On the other hand, if you don't come with any preparation, you might find yourself just leaning on the game, like I do sometimes, to try and generate the content for you. But in that circumstance, you are kind of relinquishing a little bit of your own control over your content, right? Because you are not, you're, in my case, reliant on the interaction with other people in order to generate those interesting moments, right? So I would recommend not to drive yourself insane. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to plan out every single moment of a live stream. You still have to have a little bit of flexibility in a live content format to go where the conversation takes you. You need to be able to go where the conversation takes you. But at the same time, at least come up with a few moments of like, aha, okay, conversation's lapsed a little bit. Aha, we can talk about this. We can talk about that, Also, make sure you fill your water. Make sure that you go to the bathroom. I don't know. Like, make sure you get up and stretch every now and again. Stuff like that. How are you, buddy? I'm doing pretty well. How are you? The bot should be working on YouTube. If it's not, exclamation point support, or go to our Discord. Can I ask a Streamlabs Ultra question? I might be able to answer it. I might not. CPU 22. But if I can't, exclamation point support is the best place to go for that. Oh, okay. Will there ever be an option to be able to start and stop streams individually without killing every stream while multi-streaming? That's the only thing stopping me from using Ultra. That is a great question. I would urge you to go to our Discord and suggest that. Our devs are in there. Our product people are in there. It's not a bad question, and I would pose that to them. They would definitely, head over to our Discord and chat with some of our folks there about it. How long should each stream be? Is there a point at which people stop watching? Yes, there is. If you are an average everyday streamer, more likely than not, your viewers are probably starting to dip right around the 2-hour mark. Usually. That being said, your stream should be as long as you want it to be. I wouldn't recommend going over 4 hours. I think 4 hours is unless there's like something that's like really engaging and really like keeping people hyped and keeping people interested. I would suggest not going over 4 hours for a run-of-the-mill stream. If you are doing like a special event type thing, it can be longer than that. My longest stream is typically about 24 to 25 hours long, but that's a charity stream. And so because it's a special event, people are more likely to stick around or at least leave a lurk up, right? If you are just doing a run-of-the-mill everyday stream, 3 hours to 4 hours, I would say you're probably not going to be retaining much attention beyond that. Did you see a Disney holodeck floor that allows us to move within the VR world? Maybe in the future we could all start running within games. They may allow us to come together and play in a world. It would be amazing if we could all walk in-game in real time. It would be a really lot of experience. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I'm excited to see what the future of VR holds. The problem right now with VR is just that it's inaccessible. That's the biggest problem. Hi, Streamlabs account. Whoever is controlling the Streamlabs account. Who's on the account? Me most of the time. Why, Dylan? I am our social media manager, so it is typically me. Post in Discord. Thanks. No problem. And yeah, no, hopefully our product people will consider it. Because no, it's a valid question. Can I get a job? Want to see my resume? Yeah, I don't control that. I'm sorry. Okay. No. You just get banned. Go away. Nope. Not gonna happen. Hi. Longest name. Oh my goodness. Because you're talking and it just appears randomly. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, do you mean here? Oh, that's the bot. That's our bot. I understand what you're talking about. That's our bot. Obviously I understand why it's confusing because it's coming from the Streamlabs account, but it's our bot. That's the Streamlabs bot, but I'm broadcasting, so it's that's the bot. Also, if you have a friend that can hang in chat and just provide talking points, it makes it a lot easier. It definitely does. So yeah, all right. Let's take one more quick question. I think I have time for that. Do we have one more quick question? Thanks for doing this. I love it. No, this is one of my favorite things that I get to do for my work. Is to be able to sit here and talk to you all about streaming and to talk to you all about the industry and this thing that we are doing. Can you add more free overlays? I personally can't. But there's a lot on there, including some with animations as well. How do you improve a stream? Okay. Great question. You improve a stream by making your content entertaining. That is always going to be my number one. You can have a great camera, you can have an amazing microphone, you can have a top of the line PC. It all counts for nothing if you don't make entertaining, worthwhile content that people want to tune into. That's what it comes down to, right? And that all comes down to being creative and executing on interesting ideas, right? That's what that comes down to. So in order to improve your stream, come up with fun stuff to do on your stream. That's it. That's what you have to do. Whether that is being really, really good at something, like look at pro players, look at speedrunners, look at, you know, people who are the best at what they do, whether it's providing a service to your viewers, you know, like stream coaching or Valorant coaching or whatever, whether it's just being funny, just being entertaining, you know, do something with your content that makes it so that people do not want to miss out. That's what it comes down to, is you need to create content that people don't want to miss out on. Because I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and if this comes as a shock to you, then you know, maybe it'll open your eyes, but your competition as a streamer is not other streamers. Your competition as a streamer is everything else in life. So think about that. Where do we go in Discord to suggest about having the help videos in Spanish? Oh, that's a great question. There should be a suggestions channel, Catalicious. But if not, I would just ask in general. All right, folks, I gotta get back to work. Thank you all so much for being here, though. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I thank you for the questions. I appreciate some of I appreciate the amazing questions that y'all have put in the chat. Thank you for helping me put together our very first office hours meme. Next week, we're going to be back. Next week at 1 p.m. Like I said, we are going to be doing a special edition office hour stream. I'm going to be joined by my friend Haylight Hunter. Awesome social media person. Really, really smart. Just absolutely incredible at understanding social media and understanding how to utilize social media to grow your stream. He is one that you are not going to want to miss, all right? So, next week, 1 p.m., we're going to be doing this again with Haylight, and it's going to be a great conversation. So, think up some questions, write them down, bring them back next week. We'll see you there. If you haven't gotten enough of me yet, I'm going to be live later on my personal channel, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be streaming probably some Valorant. Maybe we'll just be chatting. We'll see where the conversation takes us. I'm at NubbinZinc pretty much everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. You can find me at NubbinZinc. Like I said, going to be live 7 p.m. Eastern. And then, yeah, next week, 1 p.m., right back here for our special edition office hour stream to talk about social media with Haylight. So we'll look forward to seeing you all then. But until then, have an amazing rest of your week, y'all. I hope you all get out there and do something exciting in the next week. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about something that exciting that you did for your content for your stream next week. Before you go, what do you think is the best aspect of Streamlabs as a program or as a company? As a company, it's me getting to do this, and I love it. So, have an amazing rest of your week. Happy streaming, y'all. I will see you all back here next week, and I'll see some of you on my channel later. Have a good one.